Hello, I'm 25. I am 25 years on this earth. That is me. So I figured why not do a video about it? You know what I mean? I feel like 25 is like a milestone year, like 16 is. So I just figured why not talk about it? So I have the memory, I can look back on it, and who knows, it might encourage you as well to reflect on your birthday this year, or if you're hitting like what can be considered like a milestone year. um yeah, I don't know, it just feels weird being this age because, like, I don't know, people, there's 25 is a year where everybody has something to say about it, and I know I just turned 25. I'm fresh into being 25, but I don't know. I felt so nervous leading up to it, and honestly a little bit like depressed about it. I'm not gonna lie. But then my actual birthday hit, which was in like October, and I was just like, you know what? I think I'm actually fine. I think I'm actually gonna be just fine. It very much felt like another day, but I did celebrate because I love celebrating my birthday. So that being said, let us talk about what I did to celebrate, and then we shall ponder the day of birth, my birth, what it might mean for the future, the past, present, and everything in between. So to celebrate, I finally went and did an omakase. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. I love sushi, grocery store, like quick service, sit down restaurant, buffet style. I do not care. I love it. But an omakase is definitely like you're getting a higher quality of fish, and it's also kind of like the experience that you're there for as well. So you have the chef preparing I don't know the right word for it, but basically it's like never the same menu because they're gonna choose like whatever fish, I don't know, based off of whatever they want to make, or maybe by market, whatever they can get access to, so it's like the best quality. And then they make it for you right in front of you. It's all like tailored flavors, so that's what I mean when I say it is an experience, not just going for the fish knowing that you're gonna get like good quality stuff. um yeah, so I went to Sushi Yujin. um so I will say, for what I ended up wearing, as you will see, they said it was business casual, and I was, because I am like crazy person. I'm like, what do people wear? I'm looking at Reddit reviews, I'm on Google, I can't help myself. um so it definitely is like a more casual spot, but I don't know how to do casual. I feel like I'm always on two ends. I'm either like in the sweats, which is fine, or I'm just like to the max, which is not bad. But like I said, I definitely think like I did overdress a little. So I was a bit nervous, but then I don't know, I just feel like once I got there, I realized that nobody cared. Everybody was there for the same thing I was, which was sushi, the experience. So I definitely relaxed, and by the end of the day, I was really glad that I just dressed how I wanted to. So that jacket, the only suit that I own, or like suiting type of thing, is actually one that I made in school. So I don't know, full circle moment for me in a way. So you get there, you kind of wait in a little outside area, then they bring you inside. It's a very small, like cozy space, and there's only like two waiters, both of whom were like very attentive. My like glass was never not full. So you get 10 pieces of sushi plus a hand roll. I'm trying to like miso soup, and then you get tea or green tea, both of which are included. So the green tea was honestly so good. It was sencha, is that right? Yes, sencha green tea. It was refreshing. Green tea tastes like the leaves from whence it came, and I mean it as a compliment. I enjoy like the grassy fresh flavor. I don't know what to say. I was eating dandelions and leaves in the schoolyard, so I think it is a a progression that makes sense, if you will. Wow, if you can really hear my sipping sounds, through the microphone. I hope you enjoy that. So the first thing they brought out was a scallop from Hokkaido. I am taking my notes because I'm forgetful, and honestly some of these, like some of the fish I had never had before, so I had to write it down. The last thing I'm gonna say too, it was perfect seating. Perfect seating. I was sat at the end and he was starting from like this way down towards me, so I had the time, like I feel like, to actually enjoy it, even though I was filming, because I got to watch him make it for everybody else. I could hear him say what the course or what the sushi was going to be, so I had time to write it down, and then I still was able to like eat it eat my sushi, actually enjoy the flavors, and then just repeat the process. So I don't feel like I was rushing is what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way. I don't feel like I was rushing to keep track of what everything was, get my little video, and still really enjoy the meal. So a relaxing experience, I will say. So right, a scallop from Hokkaido. I've had cooked scallop before, but never raw. It was good. It has, I don't know how to describe it. It has a taste, but not really, kind of like a cucumber, if that makes sense. Like, you know a cucumber when you taste one, but there's not it doesn't really have a distinct flavoring. But it was still very yummy. It was light, it was fresh. It did taste kind of meaty. I don't know if that's a description you can use for sushi, but that's what I got. Okay. The second, I'm just gonna call them courses. I know it's not like a full whatever, but just, I can't keep trying to think of words. Okay, so the second course was sea bream with yuzu zest. Yes. When he heard it in the restaurant, I was like typing sea bream. I was too nervous to ask him to repeat himself, even though I literally heard him say it like 4 other times before he got to me. I was just like, what the? But again, I've never had it before, so I was just like, I think it's bream, that sounds like a fish, and it was. So it was summer in a bite. It was very light, it was refreshing. The lemon was like, I don't know, like, well, I guess it wasn't lemon, it was yuzu. It was just so good, honestly. And that's what I'm gonna have to say about a lot of these. That shit was just so good. Honestly, I'm thinking about it right now. So, summer in a bite, extra refreshing. Yeah, but like lemon on fish, you can't go wrong with that often. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm spilling my water. Damn. Okay, third course, number 3, was amberjack. Another fish I've first time trying it. It was very buttery, hearty. What else did I write? Oh, okay, one sec. So for the amberjack, it tasted very buttery, like not like actual butter, but I just don't know how else to describe it. It was just good. It was very creamy, and I just never thought I would like say that about a fish, but she was yummy. So they were putting like wasabi in the rice, and then they would make the little rice form that the sushi lays on top, is what I'm trying to say, and they would put wasabi in it. After the third course, I had to ask for less, because that just kept hitting me in the back of my nose. I like wasabi. I will mix it in with my soy sauce sometimes, like to dip. So I like the taste of it, but it was just too much. Like, I would eat my fish and I'd be like, lovely, so good, and then it would hit the back of my nose, and it would hurt to breathe. I'm not kidding. So I had to ask for less, and I didn't even have to finish. He brought over he's bringing over the amberjack to me, and I was like, oh, excuse me, could I get less? And he said, less wasabi. I said, yeah. I didn't even have to finish, and he already knew, so damn. Okay, course number 4, shrimp. I have never had raw shrimp. I didn't know you could, I guess, never mind. Wait, ceviche, right? Isn't that raw shrimp? I don't know. But the point is, I just never had it, and I never thought about it raw on sushi before. I've been missing out. It was the shrimpiest shrimp to ever shrimp. It was so good. I don't know how else to describe it, but it just was like, I've eaten a lot of shrimp in my life. That's what me and my sisters like to say, scrimp. I love it. I will fight for it. I'm just kidding. But honestly, some of the best tasting shrimp of my life. Course number 5, cuttlefish. Also one I have never had before. Yes, so that one they did put the yuzu on as well. It was really good. Again, I love like the citrusy note with everything. But again, it kind of was like the scallop in that it was kind of cucumber flavor umbrella. Like it didn't really have its own distinct taste. It just tasted like really fresh fish. I don't know. Let me set this here. I hope it doesn't fall over. I'm literally sitting on my bed. Number 6, lean bluefin tuna. So I've had tuna before. I don't think all tuna is from the bluefin. I don't know, but I believe that there are other types of tuna that are not bluefin. I'm gonna Google check and put the answer here. So I think that it is my first time having bluefin tuna, assuming that not all tuna has to come from that fish to be tuna, is what I am trying to say. I've had tuna sushi before, nothing that tasted like that. I will say it was like, it was like a flavor explosion. Tuna is so good. It is, I get why it's called the steak of fish, if you will. It is really living up to the name, truly. What did they put? I said like, okay, I have had like uni before. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the right thing. It's like the like yellowy thing that's from like the sea urchin. Also Google check. But it kind of had that taste in a weird way. Like it was just very like seafood, but like, or maybe it's umami is the word I'm thinking of. Ooh, mommy. I think that's what I'm thinking of. But I can't tell from what I wrote, because I wrote both and then put question marks. So that was so helpful for me. But I'm trying to like, I just feel like I don't even have the words to describe it. It was very hearty. It was like gamey, if that's a word you can use for fish. And it just tasted like very deep and like rich. So maybe it is umami. It's the one I'm thinking of. But the point is, that hoe was good. 7 was the medium fat tuna, which honestly tasted very similar, but like less, if that makes sense. Like it same flavor profile, just less flavor. And I don't know if it's because there's extra fat. It just felt toned down, but still so yummy. Number 8, snow crab. Again, I've had crab before, never like, maybe it wasn't raw and maybe they did like steam it or something. I actually do not know. But I also love crab. I've never, oh wait, never mind, that's a lie. I have had it on sushi. Yeah, that's like a basic, I don't know what I think just because like I've never had it in that way, because it literally was just like the crab piece laid on top. Most of the time it's like rolled in, if that makes sense. So I think that's why my brain was like, new presentation, we've never had this. I have tasted. I have. That's my bad. Let me calm down. Where is it? Oh, yeah, okay. So it was snow crab with a crab paste. So it was a little bit smoky, and again, like the most crab to ever crab. I don't know, okay, and this might not sound appetizing, but I'm telling you it was good. It tasted like the bottom of the seafloor. Like somebody just scooped up the sand off the seafloor. Like that's just what I imagine it would taste like. And maybe it's because they're walking around down there, but it just was good. It just worked. I will say, like, they did brush some soy sauce on it. I would have loved just a little bit more salt. Just a little tiny little. Number, am I in the right order? Snow crab? Yeah. Okay, I'll do it this way. 9. Course number 9 was a soy marinated salmon with a green onion paste. Again, salmon sushi is classic. I've had it so many times. Very fresh. It honestly kind of tasted like garlic butter a little bit. Like the fattiness to the salmon with the like green onion aftertaste, it really did kind of feel like garlic butter in my mouth, and it was absolutely wonderful. So that one was very good. um Oh, and then at this point, like kind of as he was making the salmon one, they brought out the miso soup. I used to think I hated miso soup. I think I was just having like ones that maybe weren't the best. I don't know if like quality is the right word, or maybe they like it sat out for too long before they served it. I don't know. But I literally, if you were to ask me like 2 years ago what I thought miso soup tasted like, I would have said that it tasted like spoiled milk. Like, you know when milk curdles and it just has the sourness to it that's not the yummy kind, like Greek yogurt? That's what miso soup used to taste like to me. Yeah. And I started, like, I've tried nicer places since then, and I also bought miso paste and made it at home. So I just, like, I don't know what was going on there. But I used to hate miso soup, is what I'm trying to tell you. But I love it. I love it now. It's a homemade stock that they use, and honestly it tasted a bit more like a fish broth with the miso added into it, which like obviously I think it's like supposed to, but I just feel like that's the most I've had like the fish flavor come, or the fish broth flavor come through, because they do use like the bonito flakes in it, which is fish flakes. Yeah, so it was just good miso soup. I don't know what else to say. I have an obsession with miso soup, so honestly, I could keep talking about it, but I won't. I won't. Number 10 was the salmon roe, and they did put like the grated yuzu on top. I will say, like, I love how they did the yuzu. Like, it just was so, everything just felt so intentional. They were just like, okay, grater, but no, I'm not gonna shake it off. I'm gonna brush it on. Like, presentation 10 out of 10. What am I saying? The salmon roll? Yeah, it literally tasted like fish oil, lemon, omega-3 like boba balls. Like, my mom and my grandma used to make me and my sisters take the like fish oil. If they had just found, like, my point is that they could have been giving me salmon roe instead of that fish oil, because the fish oil that they're giving me tasted bad. That was good. That was good. It was omega-3 yuzu boba balls in my mouth, and it was so good. It was so good. And it was still, again, like, it still tasted very light, even though I keep saying like omega-3 like fish oil. It was not oily tasting. Fresh, light, delicious. Okay. Then they did, so that was the 10 salmon rolls. What am I saying? That was the 10 sushis they gave us. Is my phone crooked? Has it been crooked this whole time? I don't even know if I fixed it. You know what? If I didn't, just don't look at the screen then. Just listen and enjoy, okay? Damn. Anyways, onto the hand roll. So he literally handed it to us. I was like, wow, a hand roll handed. Wow. I was nervous because I obviously was trying to film it, but I was like, I do not want to annoy this man when I can't take this hand roll because I'm trying to film it. And I don't know, I just was like anxiety in my mind, performance anxiety. I was like, girl, you need to take this fish properly and better get it on film. Don't mess it up. Like, and it was fine, but in my mind, I was like, focus. Okay. So it was a fatty tuna hand roll. So there wasn't seaweed on any of the other ones. This one obviously was wrapped in seaweed. So I just felt like the seaweed tasted a little smoky. I don't know, but it was like a nice addition to everything. And they did put like a lot of the green onion in there, so that was very refreshing. I'm just trying to look. I did take a picture after like the first bite. It honestly kind of looks like a pate, and it really was like very creamy. Like, I don't know how, well, obviously because I was chewing it, so that's how, but like everything just kind of started blending together, like the tuna with the like rice and the green onion. So it was just very like creamy, oniony pate type of thing going on, and it was really good, and I didn't mind the texture. So yeah, at this point I will show you close up. So it was like it's an elephant. So it was on the little menu that I showed you guys already. We'll go back. And when I made the reservation, I went by myself. I'll get to that. It was nothing crazy. I just want to finish the menu. Yeah, okay, so I put this my birthday when I made the reservation. So I got a free glass of juice, which you might be thinking, juice? It was $9 on the menu. That was a $9 juice. So yeah, I think it was a big deal that I got that hoe for free. Okay, free. It was a Fuji apple juice. Okay, the way he said it, I wasn't 100% sure, and I was too nervous to ask for clarification. I think they got those apples literally from, I know it's Mount Fuji, but is Fuji also a city or possibly a province? I don't know. Actually, yeah. You know what? Google again. This is a learning moment for me. And, like, obviously I know there's like different like cities and shit like that in Japan, but I'm just like, is Fuji also a city or is it just the mountain? You know what I mean? Like, where did that name come from? But anyways, the point is, I think those apples were flown from Japan here and pressed into a little juice and given to me for free. That is what I think. And if that's not true, nobody tell me otherwise. This is my birthday delusion. Oop. It's in my head. It literally was very, what am I saying? It tastes like apple cider, but without having to add any of the apple cider stuff. It's like they condensed apple cider and found a way to grow it into apples. Then they grew those apples, picked them, and made it into juice all over again. It was so good. It was refreshing. I did find it a little bit sweet, but I also I think a lot of things are overly sweet. So I don't think that's the apple's fault, and I feel like a lot of people might drink that and feel that it has a very light flavor. I will say that. But it was yummy. It was good. Okay. So that's that. 10 courses, 1 little hand roll, and my free juice. It was good. It was a good freaking juice. That's all I can say. So the total, if anyone's curious for that, for like the lunch itself and then tax and tip, was $106.67. So like I said, it definitely is not like still $106, you know what I mean? But I just kept putting it off, and it's just something I wanted to do, so I said, you know what, why not? So I also did the lunch because it was shorter. I definitely feel like I just wanted to try it out and see, just because I do like sushi, but like I said, this is more of like the experience that's going into it, which is not something that I'm used to. So I feel like having done like a minier version of it in the lunch, I think I would enjoy a dinner version. So, which is just longer and there's just more like elements to it. That's the only difference. Yeah, so I just decided to go solo because one, like I said, I even just going for the lunch, that was a cheaper option. It was still $80, so times are tough, you know. I just didn't want to ask that amount of people, if that makes sense. And then also, like, I love sushi. I feel like the people in my life like sushi, but not to the extent where they're like, you know what, I'm gonna cough up the cash for that. So I just wanted to enjoy my damn meal and not have to and not that anybody would make me feel guilty. It's like my own personal, I would feel bad, you know what I mean, for asking. So I just decided I am just not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go and enjoy myself. And as I said before, it wasn't an awkward experience because everybody was just there also to enjoy the meal. So then afterwards, I met up with my cousin at Wanda Pie in the Sky. I love pie. I love that place. The cafe itself is so cute, and obviously the pies are so freaking good. I've had some of their savory well, I've had their croissants, and I've had some of their savory croissants, and I think they have like a pizza. I can't remember, but the point is their stuff is good, sweet and savory. This is what we got. This is me looking at all the pies actually, and I spotted it. My one true love, the dessert, the king of desserts for me, a lemon meringue pie. I was hoping at the very least, if not that, then an apple crumble would have been sufficient to replace, but I got lucky and that pie was there. So yeah, I got a slice of pie, my cousin just got a croissant, and we just hung out and just talked until the cafe closed and they said, get the hell out of here. And we did. So that was my actual birthday day. I don't know, it was just a good day. I was walking home. It was also a very like nice fall day. It was not too freezing, so it was just nice. The moon was out. I felt like it was my little like companion on my walk home. It was just nice. It was just very like relaxing, good food, good company. Shout out to my cousin, and the love of my life, lemon meringue pie. So I've been seeing people kind of doing like journaling or like talking about journal questions you could do on your birthday as like reflections, and then you just like ask yourself the same questions every year. So that's kind of what inspired this video, because like I said, I want to be able to look back and say, what the hell was I doing at 25, you know? And that was a burp if you heard it. So what was 24 like? The joys, the hardships, the new experiences. What was 24 like? I literally played these questions. Obviously, I knew what I was gonna ask myself. 24 was a lot. That's what I have to say. It was a lot, but you know what? I feel like many people, not to mention that which shall not be named, that was in 2020, but you all know. I feel like life has been a lot for me since then, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. But like, yeah, I just feel like I had like, there was a lot going on with me health-wise that I didn't really know, because it was just in so many different areas. I was like, well, which one is making me feel the way that I'm feeling right now, if that makes sense. There was like, what am I saying? I kind of went back to school, but not really, if that makes sense, just because they ended up like closing the certificate. So I just did what I could, and I did walk away with a lot from those courses, and I'm happy that I did them. But like, you know, it was one just disappointing that I wouldn't walk away with what I thought I was going to walk away with in the end. And in general, like, even just being in school for like those 1 or 2 courses was a lot. It was a lot. I was stressed. I will say, like, I don't miss being in school. I thought I did, like, going back into it, if that makes sense. But honestly, once those assignments started hitting and I still had to go to work, I was like, actually, fuck that. Actually, I do not miss being here. So yeah. I feel like career-wise, I just wasn't able to put as much into it as I wanted to. Because I feel like, I can't remember if I have talked about this before or not, but about, you know, me kind of being in the film industry, not as much as I want to be, if that makes sense. Just because, like I said, like, with what was going on with my health, like, I just didn't have the capacity to show up, if that makes sense. And it was only till, like, I just also didn't realize, like, how much this stuff was affecting me. So I was pretty hard on myself this year too, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I do feel like career was like a little bit stagnant for me. I thankfully do have a job currently that I enjoy, and I enjoy my coworkers, so I'm very thankful for that. But, you know, like, long-term career goals, I do feel like I just did not get to what I wanted to get to. Yeah, I don't know if that's too vague, but yeah, I don't know what I mean by vague. I'm crying. I'm trying to think. I think that was it. Yeah, for 24, I didn't like travel this year. Like, this year really was about health. And you know what's so crazy? I looked up like you know how they have like the animals, like every year is a different animal, for like I am drawing a blank so hard. I think it is a Chinese lunar calendar is what I'm thinking of. But it's like I basically was looking up the animal for this year and like what it would mean because of like I am like a dragon, so I was born in 2000, and it literally was just like, bitch, take your health seriously. It's gonna be a lot for health, but and I just was like, they were like, I'm checking every year is what I'm saying because oh my god, it was accurate. Um, I feel like, yeah, I also had stuff with friends and family this year where I just like had to take a step back and like set boundaries with a lot of people in my life, which was not easy, but I think I'm just gonna be better off for it in the end. Um, yeah. So that was 24. It wasn't all depressing. I will say, like, I started getting into gouache and just art in general. So I had a lot of fun this year kind of making my own gouache palette, and I packed it up anywhere I could and just sat outside and just painted away. It dries quickly, which is very nice. So yeah. And I will say too, like, again, like, honestly, oh, it's 5 years of like extreme personal growth. Okay, like just like everything that I have ever been insecure about, I had to face, or I just got like just under a magnifying glass so bad that it was like, girl, you have to address this. Like internal relationships with how I am with myself, how I treat myself, how I speak about myself, really being serious about like what I actually want in life. And in order to do that, I had to truly know myself. So even though like this year has felt like a lot, it is one of many that have been very much like intense personal growth years for me. But I will say, like, the difference is I think this year very much felt like a closing out chapter because, like, I've been in therapy. I've been actually doing the things that we have been talking about in therapy, which is a very big thing. As much as I hated it sometimes because it's not easy. I just feel like this year it felt mirrored in the sense that I kept being put in situations that were so similar to things I'd already experienced, but the only difference was I was like actually in tune with myself and willing to stand up for myself or just advocate for myself. And so that's what I mean when I say I feel like it's been a closeout, because similar situations, but the outcome has been very different. Because like I am coming from a way more grounded place. I'm coming from a more like, I guess like authentic is the word, because again, like I'm making these decisions as someone who actually knows themselves. So yeah, it was in a way like hard to go through certain things, but I do feel like it was reaffirming because at the end of the day, I just felt really proud of myself. So that was 24. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. What media or books or just things in general best represent a 24-year-old Hannah? Travel vlogs. I can't get enough of them. I don't know why. I can't stop. But yeah, travel vlogs. I would say art videos as well, because like I said, I've been trying to get back into painting more. So I've just been watching like quick how-tos for gouache and then just going out and like trying it, which again, like it's just been helpful. So I liked it. Drag Race. Ooh. Yeah, I've been watching it for quite a while, or no. What am I trying to say? I started watching it last year, so I've just been really in it because I'm trying to catch up on seasons, but I've also been watching the new ones. So I'm having fun. Slay the Boots House down, mama. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I've been watching, I don't know why, does anyone remember the Nancy Drew games, like the detective computer games? I was obsessed. I only got the one like as a kid growing up. And I begged, okay, Doris, for days to get that one. So I've been watching people play through all the other games, and I don't know, I'm just loving it. I think just like childhood stuff in general has been very like, I've been gravitating more towards it, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I will say Scooby-Doo I watch all the time just because I love it. That's not a new addition, but Ghostbusters, what is the other one? Garfield. And because it was Halloween, I was watching a lot of like Halloween specials from different shows, like the Magic School Bus and like, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, also I've been watching Totally Spies. Guys, YouTube, I think just because of the age on some of these, like a lot of like the like companies or whatever that like made them just be putting them on there on YouTube for free. So if there's a show that you want to watch, or maybe just kind of have like a comfy cozy night and you want like a low, because that's the thing, like these are low effort low stakes shows, okay? I expend no emotional effort watching these, and I think because like I said, all of my emotional effort was going toward dealing with other areas of my life. I did not have the time to be stressed out over a show. I couldn't do it. So I was like, low stakes show. I started looking towards like childhood shows. So yeah. Music wise, Turnstile, I'm looking, Rico Nasty, Tennis, Lure Division, Casket Cassette, Video Club. I've been learning their songs. They're all in French, and I don't know, they get in my brain. The band has since broken up. It's been like, well, it's been a while since they've broken up, but I don't care. I don't care. Separately, they make wonderful music together. It's wonderful music. I'm learning these songs in French because I need to sing them. You ever hear songs and you're just like, I need to sing it? That's me. I'm like, I gotta learn it. I will say like 2 songs that I really feel like have been my songs, if you will. Break Me Down by Yukimi. I don't know if I'm gonna say, I don't know. I think that's it. I'm literally just pronouncing it how it's spelled, but I don't know if that's correct, is what I'm trying to say. So she's actually part of the band Little Dragon. She's the lead singer, but she's kind of branching off to do some solo projects. So that song, and Fifth Spring by Meaningful Stone. They're honestly a little cheeseball, but they're very much just about like, listen, it might be winter, but I can hold out till spring, or that literally the song is called Break Me Down. The other one, like, it's very self-explanatory what these songs are about. So I was just like, I need a little hopeful something to sing in these moments. Books that I feel like have been, I've been reading a lot this year. I don't know what happened. It's like my brain, but again, like I said, I did not realize how much I was stressed out about things, and I really was like, I need to get back into my hobbies. So reading was one of them. So there have just been a couple of books that I feel like have just got me looking at things a little differently, shall we say. So one of them was, where is it? Truth Telling, 7 Conversations About Indigenous Life in Canada by Michelle Good. So Michelle Good actually has a lot of other books that I want to get to, but that one, like, obviously, guys, I'm Black, so I am very aware about the racism within Canada, and I have but also been aware of the racism faced by other communities, but I am not in those communities, if that makes sense. So I think reading that book was very, like, informational and, like, perspective shifting in a sense, because, like, obviously I know that the Indigenous communities are facing racism, but I think to learn about it in the way that she spread everything out was like, oh, I was like able to kind of zoom out and look at it from, like, you know, from treaties to modern day, and just like, I will say also too, Insidious, some of these things I was reading, I was like, oh my, like, it is frustrating, I will say, to read some of these things because it's just so, like, messed up that they happened in general, and the ways that they are still affecting these communities, and the ways that I will hear people talk about these communities, like. So I will say that as much as it was, like, I feel like something worth reading so that you can have, like, a real perspective on these issues in Canada and how they can affect other communities, like, or how they can affect Indigenous communities. I think that book is very helpful for that. But it definitely, like, I did have to put it down sometimes and then come back because I just was like, screaming, internal screaming is what I'm telling you guys. So not a discouragement, but just, you know, it's how I felt. That's how I felt. And then I also read Mojo Working by Katrina Hazard Donald. So this one is all about hoodoo, which again is another, like, I'll just say area kind of filled with a lot of misconceptions, and even there are some that I had about it, and again, like, I know a little bit about it, but just it's just nowhere near what I learned from reading this book, I will say. So if that is an area that interests you, I would say it's definitely worth a read. The book is basically her own theory, kind of detailing how she feels that hoodoo is, in fact, its own folk religion, and not like just strung together superstitions, half herbal medicine, that was something that kind of sprung up and disappeared quickly within like slave communities throughout America, or specifically kind of south half of America, if that makes sense. So I feel like it is very well researched and well thought out, and I just feel like in general, like reading everything she has read, I'm just like, there should be so much more research going into that area, if that makes sense. But I also feel like the fact that there's not can be quite telling. Oh, I also started kind of getting back into comics as well, which has been really nice. I read Historia, which is a kind of Wonder Woman related origin story, because it talks about the Amazons from whence she came and how they came about. Whence is my word of the year, by the way. So that's by Kelly Sue DeConnick. I also started reading Doom Patrol, Crawling from the Wreckage by Grant Morrison. My love for Doom Patrol knows no bounds. I love the TV show. I'm still mad that it was canceled, so I'm now looking to comics to get my fix. I'm a DC girl. I've been in the world since 4. So I've always like known about the Doom Patrol, but I never kind of went out of my way to read more stories, like more of their own like comic runs, if that makes sense. But having watched the show, I'm like obsessed. So I'm back in it. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been reading for 24. So I'm curious to see next year, you know, what I'm reading, what I come back to. How are you different today than you were on your last birthday? On my last birthday, I would say I definitely was like a little bit more like, I feel like I was a little bit more sad on my last birthday, if that makes sense. Like, it was just kind of a weird time in my life where like I kind of had people that I was talking to, but I was like, do I feel close enough to celebrate my birthday with them? Or people were just busy, and then I also was just trying to think about what to do, and none of it like sounded appealing to, I feel like, do a restaurant or like a bar or something like that. And like, I don't know, it just was like nothing just felt appealing to me, if that makes sense. Like, I just felt like I didn't want to celebrate my birthday in the way that I normally do, because I love going out to a restaurant or planning a party or something like that for my birthday. And it's literally something I've done like every year. Like, so I don't know, like I just very much was like in a hermit mode. I was like, I'm not doing it. So I just went to see my cousin, and I got sushi. I guess this is like a new birthday trend for me, but yeah, last year I got sushi from Oroshi Fish. So kind of out of the way for me, but I just heard really good things about it, so I said, let me go try it, and it was very good, very good. So I don't know, I just felt like, I don't want to say depressed, because I was not, but I just felt like I just wanted to be to myself, if that makes sense. Like I said, it has been a very crazy ride for me, like the last couple of years, and you know, 23 going into 24 was no different. I just was like, I don't have it in me. I don't want to. I do not want to. So it just felt like, and even now I'm just like, I'm doing that. I just was like, actually, I gotta keep to myself, you know? So I think that's kind of the difference, where I felt like I wanted to celebrate, and I didn't care if it was with people or not. I just like have been through a lot and have really been closing out things in my life, because I really am just like, I can't live like that anymore. Can't do it. So I feel like 24 was kind of me really just being like fed up in a way, where I was just like, God, I'm like, the universe, I'm like, this is year 3, and this is what it's like. What the hell? I said, what the hell am I celebrating at 24? I said, not a damn thing. So I still did do a little something, but that's why I really was just like in a hermit mode about it and just feeling very like reflective and taking stock of my life. But at 25, I feel like this year I was much more in a celebratory mode and just, again, looking at my life, but with, I feel like, a more positive lens and being able to kind of be more compassionate towards myself and to realize how far I had grown and that all the work I had put in was worth it. So I feel like that's the difference. Yeah. What would you say to 24-year-old Hannah on her birthday? I would say to her, thank you. Thank you for taking your health seriously, because I definitely have been a very like, if I'm dying, I might go to the hospital type of person when it comes to the doctors and stuff like that. Just because I'm like, well, if it goes away, then do I really need to address it? Like, that's where I was, which is not responsible, and I know that now, and I do not do that anymore. But 24, I just was like, I had to be serious, for real serious. Like, yeah, so I just want to say thank you to myself in general for advocating for myself, because it is something that I had to do in terms of like career. I had a job that basically the business ended up closing, and the owner of said business tried to not pay me. So I had to take that seriously and like fill out forms for the government, and like it was a lot, but I had to be serious about that. Like I said, with my health, there were things that not necessarily were not taken seriously. Actually, no, let me not sugarcoat it. There was things that were not taken seriously, and I had to fight to get them taken seriously. And like I did end up needing surgery, so this was like, it was not an over exaggeration on my part. So like I had to advocate for myself with healthcare, and it was just a lot of me researching and practicing what to say, and just like, yeah, so that was a lot. Advocating, like I said, for myself with my own personal boundaries. And once that was something as simple as me deciding to like not go into work just because someone put it in the group chat, because I was like, girl, like, rest, stay, like I had to set that boundary with myself, you know what I mean? Or just setting boundaries with family and friends about, you know, how I want to be treated, or the types of people that I want to be around, if that makes sense. And like even now, like kind of start back into YouTube and just like creative things in general, and put more effort towards my career now that I feel like a lot of my health things have been taken care of, so I don't have to expend so much energy on them. Setting boundaries about, you know, what that would realistically look like, what I could realistically sustain, and like making a schedule, being honest about what I can actually do at this point in time, and sticking to it, if that makes sense. So I would say to 24-year-old me, thank you, because it was not easy, and I know that there was a lot of tears, lamenting, and just looking up and being like, why have you done this to me, universe? What did I do to you? Yeah, so like, again, I'm out of it now. I can retroactively look back and realize the benefit to those situations. So yeah, that's what I would just say. One big thank you and a hug, a preemptive hug, because now that I know what's to come, I'm like, girl, shit, you're gonna need a little comfort. Holy. Last question. I literally wrote it. Oh, what do you hope for your next birthday? For my next birthday, I would hope for, again, like, that I feel like in a celebratory mood. Just because, like I said, 24, I didn't feel like celebrating, because I felt like, what the hell was I doing? You know what I mean? But 25, again, because I had to sit myself down and say, girl, you can't be this hard on yourself. So I just hope that I continue that trend, if that makes sense. That I feel that no matter what is going on for 26, I feel that I want to celebrate myself and my life regardless. So that's what I hope for my next birthday. I hope to just be, you know, like, to continue to be surrounded by people that want to celebrate me on my birthday. I'm really trying to think. Like, I also hope to be like really celebrating not only just me but some accomplishments, because I do have, again, I'm going more career focused this year for sure. So I am hoping to be able to celebrate those things as well, and hoping to have like accomplished more on that front so I can celebrate that as well. You know what, like, yeah, you know, full out, I hope that I'm celebrating my birthday in another country, because why not? I love to do the most for my birthday, truly. And I feel like if I'm on this trend, this is my second year in a row of like getting sushi for my birthday. 26, I hope my butt is sat in Japan somewhere eating some nice sushi. So that is the biggest of my dreams for 26. Yeah. So I mean, I'm curious if any of you guys want to answer the questions down in the comments. I would love to like read through them. Or even if you just want to like journal personally. I just think it'll be exciting to come back to this for 26 to compare and see what's new, what's different, what I kept up with. So yeah, this video definitely ended up being a bit longer, but I hope like it just was a relaxing, chill vibe to just watch, if that makes sense. So yeah, have a good rest of your night, and happy birthday to me and to you if it is your birthday or around that time when you're watching this.